Alright, this is Ubaid on behalf of V Electronics, and in this video we're going to talk about 4 different sampling methods. Alright, so we are talking about 4 different sampling methods. And we'll start off with your simple random sampling. So what exactly is simple random sampling? Now your simple random sampling has to do with raffle tickets, random numbers, okay, lottery tickets, so on and so forth, where each and every number, each and every individual has 50-50% chance of getting picked or not. Okay, so this is simple random sample. Simple random sample or simple random sampling method. Now, apart from simple random sampling, you also have stratified random sampling. So this is where you divide your consumer population, for example, into categories, and you pick random customers or consumers from each category. If you were to walk into a home improvement store and do a customer survey, you'll basically walk into each and every department and survey random customers in every department. So this would be an example of stratified random sampling. Okay, number 3 has to do with convenience sample. And as the name suggests, this has to do with convenience, where you simply sample people who are in front of you, for example. Okay, let's say you walk into a convenience store where you have customers inside the convenience store and you start handing out customer surveys. This would be an example of convenience sample. You're not picking each and every customer individually, you're not picking them randomly. Okay, but you're simply handing out surveys to everybody who's inside the convenience store. Okay, another example would be a meetup. Okay, let's say you decide to meet up. You decide to meet up as a group. And when you do meet up as a group, you decide to hand out customer surveys. Okay, for the last meetup that you had. Okay, so that would be an example of convenience sampling. Okay, another example would be, let's say you walk into a department store. Okay, and let's say the manager of that department store is holding a meetup. They're holding a meeting, okay, to decide on what needs to be done in the next few days to bump up sales. So in that case, okay, your manager may go ahead and ask all the employees to fill out employee surveys, okay, as to what they think they should do, what their strengths and weaknesses are, okay, and how they should go ahead and improve sales. So this has to do with convenience sampling. All right, now another type of sampling method is your judgment sampling. Now, what exactly is judgment sampling? So judgment sampling, as the name suggests, has to do with judgment. So this is judgment. Now, when it comes to your judgment sampling, you're basically picking each and every customer based on a certain criteria. So let's say you have a clinical trial where you set a criteria to pick your customers. Okay, let's say you have prerequisites. Okay, the customer or the people who are involved in the clinical trial, let's say this is a volunteer, the volunteer will need to meet certain prerequisites, okay, relevant to weight, relevant to height, okay, BMI, so on and so forth. So this would be an example of judgment sampling where you're sampling, okay, the participants after setting a criteria for them to get selected, okay, and going ahead with that sampling method. All right, so this has to do with judgment sampling. So this has to do with non-probability. Okay, you're not relying on chance, you're not relying on probability, you're simply choosing participants. You're picking participants. You're picking volunteers to get your results. Okay, so this has to do with non-probability. All right, so that will be it for this video. On behalf of V Electronics, this is Obaid. Have yourself a great day.